Hello everyone, my name is MrBlaBlak and I'm here today to expose the most impressive and popular hacker in Titanfall. Before we start, I would like to make this statement. Most people look at hacks and think of these stereotypical Insta360 full-stop non-stop headshot machines, but in reality, a lot of people that are hackers have the tools for it and go unnoticed because of the program being discreet by design. Footage really doesn't mean much anymore. Most aimbot programs that are good always aim to make it look real, without giving big tells. And our star of today's video, Benchy, was smart enough to fool whole audience of Titanfall community, including even game developers. It took months for me and couple other members of competitive community to finally gather enough evidence to make a clear, confident statement. Benchy is a hacker. Let's get to mentioned evidence. I have been suspicious for a month since Benchy started raising his popularity. I did find couple of shots in his videos that didn't really make sense, but nothing really spectacular. Also, my interest in finding out whether he cheat or not was not so big at this time, so I haven't been spending much time for it. Until into my hands landed this clip taken directly from the Benchy livestream. Let's break down step by step what is happening in here. I did draw a dot in the center of the screen to make crosshair more visible, since quality of the video leaves a lot to be desired. First shot Benchy misses, then something really weird happens. We have two players in his sights, Grim Hero and Extreme Rider. He decides to go for a shot on Grim Hero. Now I'm going to mark exact frame of when the bullet was fired. You can see that on the ammo counter in the bottom of the screen. You can see that he's way off both the targets, there is no chance this shot could connect with anyone. And here happens Benchy magic. Not only the shot do connect, but it also hits the pilot that is much further from the crosshair. Instead of Grim Hero, he hits Extreme Rider. You can even see bullet trail exactly on the Extreme Rider body. A second later, he also dies to the Grim Hero. I've heard the opinions that it could be a ricochet shot. However, looking at the number of bullets in Benchy mag, which is 7, and looking how fast his scopes works, there is no doubt his attachments are extended mag and guns ready. There is no way that the ricochet was attached to his Kraber. Technically, this shot should never hit, yet kill feed with the Extreme Rider displayed indicates otherwise. Couple of days later, I had a chance to play with Benchy by myself when he was not streaming. Here is some high quality clip displaying more or less very similar situation. After that, I started dig deep into his YouTube videos to find out that in almost every video there is a ton of shot that Benchy missed, but magically they still hit their targets. Let me present some of them. Of course I could go on and on with the Kraber shots because in each video there is plenty of similar examples that could have been used. I have known about all of this for a long time, but I still lacked evidence of him cheating using other weapons. Until recently. Let's take a look how crosshair in the game behaves when firing your weapon. This time again, I'm gonna help myself with the dot as a reference. Firstly, I'm going to show you normal shooting. And now, let's take a look at Benchy. At a first glance, there is no difference, so let's investigate it closer. As you can see, the dot of the vault crosshair never moves out of the red dot that I put on the screen. At Benchy videos, it goes off the center of the screen, trying to track enemies or even revealing their position before they can even be saw. In the very end of the clip, crosshair of Benchy vault literally go nuts and then the action is being cut. After this, his crosshair acts normally again. The same thing you can notice with Wingman Elite. The only moment when Crosshair has right to seriously change its position is during reload animation. Let's see how it look up close at Benchy Wingman video. I'm pretty sure you can easily see how Crosshair is glued to the enemies. And now to conclude this whole video. Pretty much in every single video of Benchy, I could show you an example of cheats being used. I don't think that's necessary, nor that I have time to edit all of that. Just for you, I decided to contact an expert in area of cheats, prominent member of competitive community, Suddi. I hope he will dispel all your doubts.
Hello everyone. As far as the Titanfall 2 community is concerned, my name is Suddi. I love Titanfall almost as much as I despise cheating, and having a fair bit of experience regarding identifying cheats, MrBlaBlak has asked me to give my opinion and do a brief analysis in the case of Benchy. Now, most of you can probably agree that some of the footage MrBlaBlak has shown is strange or suspicious, and my goal in this segment is to try and put what has been shown into proper context and answer whether or not it is actually caused by a cheat. Because no one wants to be that guy, right? There are many things to consider when analyzing footage for signs of cheating. Latency, lag compensation, missing frames, video compression, the limitations of server-side recreations that you see in kill cams, etc. Considering time constraints, I cannot go in depth into these things here. Believe me, I could ramble on this topic for hours detailing proper methodology, but since that is not really an option, I will simply say that it is important to realize that all these things follow specific rules and patterns. There are things they can influence and things they cannot. And the same thing is also true for cheats. Cheating is a huge topic in and of itself, and I can only hope to give you a very brief overview of the specific cheat features that are relevant to this video. Which brings us to the topic of aimbots. First, let's get our cheating terminology straight. An aimbot is an umbrella term that covers a wide variety of aim assistance related features that can be toggled and tuned. As an example, the aim assistance activated when using a gamepad or controller would fall under this heading. The takeaway is that aimbots are varied and can be customized by the user to give a preferred level of advantage that can be anywhere from insurmountably large to insignificantly small. But let's dive into specifics. For this video, I will only talk about one single aimbot related feature, and that is silent aim. Silent aim is probably the most widely used aim assistant cheat in Titanfall 2. It never takes control over your mouse movement, never changes your perspective, but when it is toggled on, missed shots will simply be redirected towards the target. The strength of silent aim is configured with the aimbot's field of view settings. Note that this is completely unrelated to your in-game field of view setting. The aimbot's field of view determines how big of a correction silent aim is allowed to make. At the max settings, you can face the opposite direction of your target while you fire, and your shots will still hit. At a low setting, the aimbot will only help with corrections for very near misses. And although it is not perfect, many implementations of silent aim can also make relevant corrections for projectile-based weapons on moving targets. Spotting someone using low field of view silent aim can be difficult, but depending on the specific cheat implementation and the habits of the player using it, there are a few very clear tells. The most clear-cut proof is the off-center crosshair movement. Here's footage taken from an advertising video of a commercial cheat, where we can see this effect in action. This same phenomenon can consistently be identified throughout many of Benchy's videos, as demonstrated by MrBlaBlak. There are only a small set of predictable instances in-game where the crosshair would move off-center, none of which even begins to account for what can clearly be seen in Benchy's videos. It should also be noted that this crosshair movement will only be visible on client-side recordings, meaning it cannot be identified on kill cams. Another good way to identify silent aim relates to the implementation of aimbone that you will see in commonly used cheats. In short, aimbone refers to the settings that determine what part of the target's body the aimbot will redirect its shots to. While these settings can be highly advanced and dynamic, Titanfall 2 really lacks the player base to justify spending that amount of effort developing cheats. Instead, there is usually a simple choice of redirecting every shot to one of a few preset areas, such as head, neck, or chest. Redirections to the chest, the center of mass, tends to be the least obvious setting, and therefore the one most commonly used for people trying to go unnoticed. Combine this with weapons that show bullet trails, like the Kraber or Wingman Elite, and you can try to identify instances that show the characteristic pixel-perfect center of chest redirect. Take a closer look at this clip. It is a shot that should miss, yet what makes this a good indication of cheating is not the fact that the shot ends up scoring a kill. Rather, it is the placement of the bullet trail. The stationary target allows us to see the perfectly centered bullet trail. This is a huge giveaway, and is but one of many such examples. The fact of the matter is that for someone uploading footage of himself, Benchy makes a number of fundamental mistakes in how he uses his cheats that makes them relatively easy to spot for someone that knows what to look for. I will not detail these mistakes here, as I have no intention of making my own life harder by giving pointers to people looking to cheat unnoticed. Know also that silent aim is not the only cheat or aimbot-related feature that Benchy can be confirmed using in videos he himself has posted. But I have already rambled on this topic long enough. In conclusion, what is seen in these clips of Benchy correspond exactly to the unique and major indicators of the most commonly used aimbot in Titanfall 2. More precisely, what is shown is a player using between 1 and 5 degrees of silent aim. I don't believe that Benchy is cheating. I know that he is cheating. If you disagree, I ask that you please do not make vague references to things like lag or server issues, etc. If you truly believe that what is shown in these videos can be explained by means other than cheating, then my challenge to you is simple. Replicate it without using cheats. Reproduce it and post proof of yourself doing so. The attempt may be a good learning experience. That's it for me. Play fair and try to keep it civil in the comment section.